What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about a few different horror topics in this video here today. We'll be talking about The Conjuring. We'll be talking about Scream 7's trailer. We'll be talking about Saw 11 and the Sinners re-release. Starting off here with The Conjuring. Michael Chaves said this to Comic Book recently about The Conjuring Last Rites being the last one. He said, "It's done. This is the final chapter. That's why we called it Last Rites. It's the last one. There's no other Conjuring movies. It is absolutely the end." So as a reminder, I'm not going to say that what he's saying is false, because as of now, yes, it is the end. But one thing to remember is that this is not Michael's franchise. It does not belong to him. It belongs to Warner Brothers. A new film can happen at any time in the future without him, without Patrick, and without Vera. Second, this mainline series can be over all it wants to. As of now, as far as we know, a TV show is still on the way, so the overall universe we know isn't done. We've already heard about the discussions of a phase 2 being on the horizon. So while he's addressing the mainline series, the bigger picture though is that we still have a whole entire universe that we're going to be exploring. They're not going to let this franchise just go completely to bed. It's just not going to happen. I actually predict that they're going to take the Curse of La Llorona 2, or the Revenge of La Llorona, and try to weave that back into being connected to the Conjuring universe after putting it up for adoption a few years back after the first one came out. I think they're going to try to use this film to reintegrate it into being a part of the Conjuring universe after telling us that it's not, despite characters from the films being present in La Llorona. I think what's likely going to happen with the mainline series of films is that we're going to revisit it in the next 5 to 10 years based on how successful expanding this universe can be. Now, the likely outcome, probably a prequel that explores their very first case that is presented in Last Rites, or maybe they do another sequel, because I'm certain this wasn't their final case in real life. Ed and Lorraine Warren, I think, had countless other cases, so maybe depending on how successful the other spin-offs and expansion of the universe along with the TV show are, that could be influential as to how soon we get a return to the mainline series, which I think will happen inevitably in the future. Now let's talk about Scream 7. Scream 7's trailer still isn't here, but 3 potential slots are worth considering. Now, this is just pure speculation based on viewer Anon's latest tweets, but we know Running Man is the next Paramount release after this week. I think this week was this Regretting You movie with McKenna Grace. And if the trailer is attached to Running Man, we could get the trailer next week in preparation for the Running Man's international release the week of November 5th. The following week, or the week of November 5th, we get the trailer in preparation for the US release the following week of the 14th. Or during the week of the 14th, where the film drops in the US, that's when we get it. Those are some guesses, with the Halloween week probably being the most unlikely, but I'm open to being proven wrong. Now, we know the re-release of the original Scream is today. If I remember correctly, during the last re-release, at the start or before the film, maybe even after, I think it was at the start though, they let us know when the trailer for Scream 5 was going to be dropping. So if you're planning to go see Scream in theaters today, let me know if you see anything that suggests when a trailer will be dropping, or if you happen to even get a first look at the teaser, which I don't think they're going to do because I feel like they would have announced it by now. But if you catch anyone saying that I said the trailer is dropping on XYZ date after this video, just correct them, because that is misinformation. I don't know when the trailer is dropping. I know many of you like to ask, so I'm just giving some reasonable predictions on when I could see this dropping based off of viewer Anon's latest tweets, and the fact that he did bring up Running Man before as likely being the film it's attached to. So Running Man is in November, and I would say within these next 3 weeks, we could get the Scream 7 trailer. That is just my prediction. If it doesn't happen, that is fine. Let's talk about Saw 11. Vink360, reliable user on the Saw subreddit for Saw information, said this a couple days ago in response to someone asking if Saw 11 had been axed. He said, yes, that version of the next Saw film is axed, because the previous producers at Twisted Pictures didn't see eye to eye anymore and felt it was time to move on. The franchise was sold to Blumhouse and Atomic Monster, who have since begun work on figuring out a completely different concept and direction next to take Saw in, with James Wan spearheading those efforts. The one thing I know about that so far is that Tobin Bell will be back. Now, it's important to remember, we could always get a bombshell swerve last minute with the news breaking that a sequel to Saw X is happening. However, I trust that Vink is only leaving this comment because as of right now, from what he probably already has had discussions about with other people, the plan is still not to do a sequel to Saw X. As much as that disappoints people, still be prepared for a Halloween style legacy sequel or something else that allows them to make great use of Tobin Bell. That's just my prediction, even though I think it's time to stop leaning on him as a crutch. If they're bringing Tobin Bell back right now, I don't see that being in a cameo capacity. I see them trying to do a Saw X style movie, but in the vein also of Halloween 2018, where we pretend Saw 3 didn't happen and the movie is taking place sometime after Saw 2. And we tell a whole different narrative of what Jigsaw's been up to ever since the events of Saw 2. It's set several years later, maybe not that many, because of course you'd have to argue, well, why is the guy still alive, considering wasn't he supposed to be terminal? He should be dead by now, or whatever. But yeah, I could see them doing that, and I think that's what we should be prepared for. And I'm just going off of what Vink stated in his latest comment, which was about 5 days ago at the time of this recording. So I think it's safe to say, as of now, they still do not have any plans to incorporate anything that would suggest Saw 11 is going to be a sequel to Saw X, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. They have to do something to be able to appeal to a wider audience that they want to stick around for the foreseeable future, who doesn't feel like they have to do a lot of homework prior to watching a new Saw movie. Now let's talk about the Sinners re-release. Variety put out an article going over Ryan Coogler's upcoming endeavors, I think with the X-Files, and he went over his mother, which were some very sweet comments to read about someone gushing over their mother like that. But at the end of the article, it says Sinners is being re-released for Halloween, October 30th through November 5th in select IMAX theaters. An official line of Sinners costumes are also available at Spirit Halloween stores. Now, you know I had to cover this because this is the horror movie of the year. If you disagree, that's fine. Argue with the wall. I don't care. A film that addresses important themes without being preachy, features one of the greatest one-take sequences I've ever seen in my life, characters that are drenched in awe and charisma, memorable lines, phenomenal direction, etc. Sinners is just the moment. It absolutely is the moment this year. If you missed this film in theaters, do yourself a favor, go out to the Juke Joint, check it out later this month when it drops and returns in theaters, in IMAX select theaters. Start checking your local listings, actually, because I think you can see if it's going to be in your area. Buy a ticket, spend your Halloween watching Sinners, or if you've already seen it, just go see it again, because it is a phenomenal film to see in theaters. The whole entire theatrical experience elevates the type of film that it is. And I've actually bumped it up to a 9 out of 10 since watching it so many times. If you've been following me, you know I've seen that movie over 10 times at this point. But let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, to let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.